Hello, this is the Silver Watchman, and welcome to the final episode of Into the Dim. I have no idea what to talk about. Well, it's at least, this series. When I first got this game, when I first got it, I believe I got it, yes, I got it when I had an iPhone 6. Now, the first time I played it, I'm like, wow, this is a really cool game. It's turn-based, and it kind of reminds me of, like, the games that I used to watch my uncle play. They were like these old school, like, turn-based RPG games, and it added like a kind of nuance to it. Am I using that right? Probably not. But I mean, look at this game. Now, for you new gamers, you don't really understand the kind of nostalgia that comes with a game like this. Now, the older gamers, like the older generations, yeah, they're like, wow, this Silver Watchman, he really hits home base. Don't worry, I'm gonna play some really like advanced games in the future. And I do expect some horror games because, let's face it, you can't be a man of God without acknowledging the darkness. How can you be in the light without first being pulled out from the darkness? Think about it. That doesn't make any sense. Either way, though, glory be to God. That's just... words can't describe how grateful I am that God took the time to send somebody to reach out to me multiple times till finally I got saved. Now this person, they invited me to their church. I won't say his name, but you know who you are. And thank you. Because after I got saved, God spoke through me for like the first time ever. It was like, whoa. Everyone there was like, whoa. Because it was such vigor and such intensity. And people were like, why don't you become a pastor or a teacher? And I'm like, are you kidding me? I am not very smart. I can't be a teacher. Granted, now God has me on YouTube playing video games, teaching all of you. So, go figure. But like I was saying, when it comes to serving God, you don't want to go at it like, halfway. You won't get anything out of it, and God will... It'll be like an insult to God. When I came to serve God, like, I serve Him wholeheartedly. Granted, yes, I do sin. Okay, I'm human. I falter. I have, issues, and, I mean, like, it's... I do my best not to lust, okay? I do my best. I may not be the best at it, because the way I do it is not very nice, but, I mean, like, what I do, like, if I see a woman, my first reaction is to immediately look for any flaw that will, make me, like, okay, she's just a human. Let's put her in a category with everybody else. Human. Oh gosh. Oh no, this is what we're talking about. No, I don't want to. I mean, I will, but I don't want to. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it anyway. Alright. Alright, so apparently we're gonna be talking about a man's attraction to a woman. Are you sure? Oh gosh. Yeah, so apparently we have enough time to talk about that, and yeah, so, oh gosh, I could feel like the uncomfortableness just like kind of rising out of me. All right. So, when a man likes a woman, it's, oh gosh, why, okay. When a man is attracted to a woman, it's first because of the way that she looks. He's attracted to her assets. Sometimes, in some cases, a woman might have be more well endowed in certain areas that will like make a man kind of like go like, huh, whoa, she looks pretty nice. I mean, every guy's, I mean, for the most part, we are attracted to a lot of the same things, larger hips or more of a why just what okay I'll do, but still I'm sorry, I'm kind of, this is one of those moments like where I kind of argue with God. Like, you guys are kind of witnessing it. It's just, you see this in the Bible too. Okay, you see this in the Bible with some of the Bible legends. We're gonna get to that in the Bible series, but right now I'm kind of having my own moment. Oh gosh. All right. So sometimes a guy would prefer, larger, like physically speaking, a larger like for her to have a larger waistline, and that's for a good reason. When a guy is looking for a bride, or he should be looking for a bride, well, what God has him designed to do and have in his mind, he knows what he wants, but he doesn't know it. That he doesn't know that he knows what he wants, which means there's a perfect woman for every guy out there, and there's a perfect guy for every woman, because God had designed you two to be like a two-piece set. You can become as complete as you possibly can, but you still need to get married. Okay, if you're a guy, you need to find a wife. If you're a woman, you need to find a husband. But right now, we're going to talk about like a man's attraction to a woman and what he's looking for. So, if a man if God designed him to be like he was like a bigger child when he was born, naturally God's going to have him designed to look for a woman with a larger waist. Okay, yes, thank you for taking the reins. Oh gosh, thank you, my liege. All right. Okay, now I'm feeling less awkward. He'll look for a larger waist, because if she doesn't have that larger waist, there's a good chance that both she and the child could die, or the child could die, or she could die and the child could survive. And that's kind of like what you don't want. Now, if he was a child that like when he was like younger, was a kind of like needed a lot of sustenance, he would naturally look for a woman with a larger bust, the airbags. Oh gosh, no. The fun bags. Oh gosh, it's worse. Oh, no, I just make it worse. Oh, gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm chilling out now. I'm not chilling out. Okay. I'm just... For any woman out there that kind of feels very uncomfortable at this moment, I apologize. But I asked God to pick the topic, and this is the topic that he picked, and I'm incredibly uncomfortable. I am sorry. But, yeah, I don't know, it might be informative for you, Okay. Time to chill out. So, yeah, like I said, if he was a child that needed a lot of nourishment, like a lot of nutrients in order to grow and mature, like that, like starting off as an infant, he's naturally going to look for a woman with a larger cup size. You know, yeah. It's because she would be able to hold more milk next to her thanks to her chest. So naturally, she would be able to hold more milk. And if he was like a smaller child but still needed a lot of nutrients, he would look for a larger chest and then a smaller waist. But if it's the other way around, if he didn't need too much nourishment, he'll look for a larger waist and a smaller chest. Now, for somebody like me, I was born a very, very big child. I was like a 10-pound baby. I don't want to touch that topic, please. Apparently, we're gonna touch that topic. Oh gosh. So I needed like for me to be born. It was a cesarean section. Because I was too big to be passed through my mother's through her legs. So they needed to cut me out so she wouldn't die, and so I wouldn't die. And that's what happens when, you know, a man like he picks a wife, but it's not supposed to, but she's not well designed for, you know, to bear his children, because she's not supposed to be his wife. Granted, I mean, if a child is born, that's probably because God wanted that kid to be born. So, no, it's not probably. It's because he wanted that kid to be born. Every life that is conceived and is, like, you know, becoming a thing, don't abort it. Don't get rid of it. It's needed. If God says you're unworthy to have that kid, then God's going to take that kid away from you. You have no right to make that decision, no matter how that life was formed. I know that sounds really wrong. I know that sounds kind of really messed up, but think about it. Yeah, that kid is going to have a really, really bad origin. But what if that kid grows up to do something amazing? Like, I don't know. Helps to create the cure for cancer, or maybe becomes the next great revivalist. Or in my case, becomes a stammering fool on the interwebs. Wow. You know, he just tries to explain to an audience of people what a man is typically looking for based on what God has designed him to have. So, like, women, like, please don't. I'm not a pervert. I'm just doing what God asked me, what God is telling me to, in obedience to God. So glory be to God for giving me at least enough confidence to say what I have said so far. So, yeah, oh gosh, I completely. So, yeah, with me, naturally, because of how I was born and, as a baby, God is going to have my perfect woman to be somebody that is really well balanced with reasonable with reasonable assets on her, so that our child won't, one, kill her through conception, or two, we won't need to get like formula because she doesn't have the proper equipment to properly nourish the child in its first months. After that, then it'll be weaning, and then we'll probably end up working on like baby foods and other stuff like that, and I'll probably take up gardening again. Or I'll just teach it how to eat blended steaks. Because as a baby, I was always hungry. In fact, even now, I'm always hungry. Because my body burns through food like I don't know. It burns through like some of the toughest stuff. Like it's nothing. And like in an hour, I'm hungry again. Depending on how much I ate. So naturally, I know that like my kids are gonna. They're gonna kind of be the same way. They're always gonna be kind of hungry because they'll probably inherit that from me, and they'll probably inherit their mother's, more of a less awkwardness. Let's just nip this in the butt. I'm an awkward man, and this is kind of uncomfortable for me, but I'm obeying God, and that's what matters. Yes. So, yeah. So naturally, yeah, I'm gonna look for a woman that is, nice. Yeah, that's on the physical aspect. Okay. Now we're gonna get away from that. Kind of probably riding on a rocket, getting away from that. Maybe. So yeah. Now, on the emotional scale, what a man is looking for, whether he knows it or not, is somebody that completes him on an emotional level. Like for me, I'll probably, the woman that's gonna be my wife, she's gonna be very like calm and very collected and very. I mean, she may not be smarter than me, but she'll be smart. And she'll be able to, like, kind of talk me down from my spaz out moments, like how I'm having right now. And just be like, yo, it's okay. It's okay. Just take a breath. Relax. Until then, God will every now and again have to, like, step in and just be like, yo, just chill out for a little bit. You're doing okay. Okay? Just relax. And yes, God does have to do that for me every now and then, because I like I said, a lot of my infirmities they're mental. They're most of them are mental. I don't have too many physical infirmities aside from maybe like a damaged shoulder that's chronically damaged, or maybe like the fact that like my bones will lock up every now and then, or like. Every now and again, like out of nowhere, I just kind of feel uncomfortable in my own body. And that's mostly because of the life that I used to live. I lived a double life. And half of that was extremely dangerous, and the other half I was just basically a loser human. So, yeah. But yeah, like, trust me when I say... Yeah. I mean, technically, like, what a man is looking for when he's ready to marry is he's looking for what God he's looking for his wife. God designed you to look for a wife, and it's for the same reason that God made humanity. The same, like, the thing that'll drive us to go look for a wife is, is we'll get lonely. We can't help it. We just, I know guys we as guys, we kind of seem like we're like this, like, brr, like this big macho guy, or like, I don't know how, I'm not super macho. I'm more like a you take me to a store full of baby animals, and within 5 minutes I'm holding all of them. Probably. I mean, they'll probably kick me out. They're like, don't pick up the animals, stop petting them. They're cute. I can't help it. Look at this thing. It's cute. Yeah, so it's cute. So yeah, that's a thing. But yeah, like on an emotional scale, if a man has a lot of issues with anger, God's gonna have him look for a woman that is very peaceful, very calm. They kind of like nullify all that wrath and kind of help him go through it, which is what my wife will be able to do. If a man has issues with insanity, God will bring him a woman that is very kind of like firm and understanding, which is also what I'm gonna need. Oh gosh, I messed up. But if a man is very insecure about himself, God will send him a woman on an emotional scale, which is very, very very supportive, very kind of there for him, where you can feel like he can trust her. And if he has issues with fear, she'll be a very calming, once again, another calming force. You'd be like, hey, you got this, there's no need to be afraid. You got this. You've done crazier stuff than this to make him less afraid. Because like I said, the woman is a support role in the household. We as men may be leaders in the household, but we are by no means kind of the backbone of it. I'm sorry to say, but we lead the house. We make the hard choices. But that also means that we kind of get oh gosh, did I make the right decision? And when you got a good wife at your side, she'll just kind of be there yeah, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out later. Something like that. Or, I don't know, depending on what you need in a woman. And, okay, this is getting easier. Yeah, so the first 10 minutes or 12 minutes or so are just me freaking out. Because like I said, this is not a topic that I normally just out of nowhere just talk about. This is what God wanted me to talk about, so I trust God. You should too. And that is also true. And not all people are the same. Okay, some people, what would be a perfect wife for me is not the same of being a perfect wife for you. So don't try to look for the kind of woman that God is having me look for. And to know what kind of woman you really desire, I once again recommend that you have a heart-to-heart with God. Because if you don't, You're not gonna know, okay? I'm sorry, but you are not gonna know. You're gonna make a lot of mistakes. You're gonna break a lot of hearts. And on top of that, you're probably gonna end up in wedlock or something like that. You make a bad choice. Now you're end up marrying the wrong person. So in turn, you're stealing a wife away from somebody else because you were selfish. You know, just if you really are interested in finding a special someone, don't go to dating sites. Don't go to the guru. Don't go to the psychic. Don't go to the psychic. They're hacks, and even if they are able to speak truths about the future, keep in mind they've most likely made a deal with demons, whether they know it or not. Unfortunately, you don't want to take that risk, alright? And don't look to the stars. The stars can't tell you anything. Alright? The only thing that I can tell you who you really are, who you are meant to be, is not you, is not that therapist, is not that guy over there that's screaming at you, the motivational speaker. Okay? They don't even know either. Most likely. Because I mean, if you're able to figure out your purpose without God's help, one, that's impressive, and God will commend you on that. Trust me. I mean, God's like, at least to me, you found out, you found out a good number of things I wanted you to find out. But you didn't find out in a way that I wanted you to. But you found it out in a weird way. But you still found it out. So good job. That was basically the gist of that. And I was like. And, instead of accepting the good job part, my mind immediately went to, wait, I'm weird? Yeah, so, I mean, yeah, I kind of know I'm weird, but still, when God calls you weird, then you're weird. Go figure, right? And, like how I said, just understand that yeah, not everything is gonna be, hunky-dory, easy in a relationship. If you're going on feelings alone, then your relationship is not gonna last. I'm sorry, but if you're like, oh, but I feel like I love her, she gives me the butterflies, or she makes me feel weird, or like, I love him because he's so nice and whatever. No. And I understand now, understandably, a lot of you are upset. Good. That means you're gonna listen to me. If just to spite me. Love is not an emotion. That emotion that you feel is known as euphoria. Or happiness. But that's just temporary. it's a fleshly thing, meaning like everything else that's of the flesh, it's gonna be temporary. So that's why I say, ask God to bring you your wife, or ask God to bring you your husband. Ask God to bring you your husband if you're a woman. Ask God to bring you your wife if you're a man. Okay? I don't care what, gender preference you prefer. You wanna do the deed as a dude with another dude, you're selfish. And in my opinion, you're a traitor to humanity and to God. And God says what you're doing is an abomination. Now, I'm not casting judgment on you. Okay? Like I said, I've done pretty much every single evil this world has to offer. And I can tell you with assuredness, it's not worth it. Trust me. It's not. But think about it though, it's selfish. That's why I call you guys traitors and I call you guys selfish. Because instead of bringing more life into this world, you're holding on to the life you have. That's why I call you selfish. And I call you a traitor because, yeah, you might be doing a job, but you're not doing what you were meant to do. Which is, bring forth more life. And if you can't have kids, and you kind of feel bad because you can't have kids, keep in mind, you can't have kids for a reason, and that's probably because God wants you to take care of the orphans, which is another reason why I call the people that are gays and lesbians and like that, why I call them selfish, because they will adopt an orphan that's supposed to be adopted by somebody who can't have kids. And that's not right. That's just selfish. That person can't have kids. And yet you're taking away from them the opportunity to be able to raise a child. Children are very precious things. Depending on what path you guide them on is where they'll go. I got the sniffles now. Oh gosh, no. No tears. Be strong. Yes. Okay, I'm good. Yeah. Okay. And I know that I made you all, a lot of you, like really upset. And that's a good thing. Because sometimes you have to get a little upset to realize, oh wait, I'm not going the right path. And that's happened to me before. Yeah. I'm not like the best of people. Alright? But I could definitely tell you with assuredness that this world is very empty. It's not worth it. Now, like I always said, if you really are serious about finding that perfect, that perfect man or that perfect woman to marry, then I recommend that you stop using dating apps, that you stop going to those meet and greets. You stop doing all of that. You're just wasting your time. Because the only one that can bring you somebody that's exactly right for you is God. Alright? That's why there's so many divorces, because people are selfish and they want to decide for themselves instead of admitting that there's a God and asking him for help when they know they need it. You know? I mean, as prideful as I was, I asked God to help me out. And as a result, I mean, God removed my pride. Now I'm me, good old-fashioned awkward me. And God's like, you know what? You've been doing enough of my will that I'm going to reward you with a bride. But you need to finish your promise to me and complete the Bible series. And I'll bring you a woman that's custom tailored for you. Now, when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that's awesome. So, me being me, naturally, my first, question is she gonna be hot? Because, I mean, that's a normal guy thing to ask, okay? Don't get all judgy with me. Okay, that's a really normal guy thing to ask. And God's like, basically, she'll be everything you want and need in a woman, which means, that means a lot of things, actually. But overall, it does prove, in a way, my theory. Which is the fact that God has a special somebody for everyone. No two people are alike, but God knows what he's doing. I mean, he made you, so naturally, he knows what will go with you and what won't go with you. You know? Yeah, so if you really are serious, just go and talk to God. I mean, what's the worst that's gonna happen? What, God will tell you something that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear? God knows what he's doing, so if he tells you something, chances are it's because you probably need to hear it. I mean, I don't like everything that God tells me. I mean, you saw even at the beginning of this video where, like, I didn't want to, take it on this route, but ultimately I still submitted to God. Because God knows what he's doing. I don't. It's just as simple as that. And trust me, the love story that God's got set up for you, it's a pretty one. And everybody's love story, when they meet that person that they're supposed to be with, is going to be different. Granted, I'm probably going to have to, get my wife back from the maws of Satan himself, but that's what's okay with me. Because, I'm okay with that. It'll feel satisfactory for me, at least, to be able to, feel like I had to go on this big journey just to meet the woman I'm supposed to be with for the rest of her life. Yeah, sometimes knowing too much can really put a damper on things. Like knowing whether or not you're going to outlive your partner. So yeah, when you're talking to God, you gotta decide whether or not you're ready to hear the answer, but make sure you actually want to know it. Because sometimes blissful ignorance is key. Sometimes. But yeah, if you do want to have your wife or your husband, or have that person that you're supposed to be with, talk to God about it, and God will let you know. It is God. He's not gonna laugh in your face and call you silly because you're a little lonely and you want somebody that you could trust, as far as humans go. You can always trust God. God knows what he's doing. You can't always trust a human. Because like I said, we as humans, we don't really know what we're doing. We're just kind of, taking a guess at everything and hoping for the best. And don't tell me that you're not, because we both know you're lying. Because let's face it, even I'm doing that at some points. But yeah. Now, when you're dating, like when somebody asks me, hey, when you have a girlfriend, what do you do for her? Like buy her a whole bunch of gifts? I mean, unless I know that she's going to be my wife, I generally won't, because it, in my mind, seemed like a waste of money. You know? And I know that really seems messed up, but think about it. Why waste your time with somebody that you don't know you're supposed to be with, rather than go and trust God and be with a person that you know that God made for you, and you know? And that you were made for them too. I know it kind of sounds messed up, like how I'm explaining it at sometimes, but I'm a little bit at a loss for words. Walking with God is not the easiest thing in the world, but neither are relationships. If you really love somebody, then you'll put some serious effort for them. Love is not that feeling. That feeling is just temporary. It's when those feelings go away that you know that you love them. Because here's what love is. Love is exactly what God showed us. Love is the willingness to sacrifice even life and limb for somebody else. That's what love is. Love is not that carnal feeling that you feel with your body. No, love is choosing to sacrifice for that person that you don't want to see sad. You know? That person that, I mean, you're with them, but you're not really sure why, but you're still willing to do just about anything for them. Because in your mind, they matter. That's what love is. And some of the best people who were able to show me that were, it would have to be, like, I would have to say my mother and my grandmother. And my grandmother, she's currently in heaven. Thank God for that. I mean, I'll miss her. And the last conversation I had with my grandmother was basically her not recognizing me because of the sickness. Yeah. Okay. Trust me, Didn't God pick out that perfect somebody for you? Trust me when I say it's way worth it. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? What, it takes you a long time to find that person? I've waited a long time. And thanks to that time in hell, if we go in hell time as well, little over 300 years. Oh gosh, a little over 900 years. Oh my gosh. I mean, yeah, in our time, it's been, what, roughly 20, maybe a little bit longer, that I've waited for my wife. But as far as hell is concerned, I've waited eons for her. As far as heaven is concerned, I've waited hardly a day, hardly a minute for her. Because, time in heaven moves really slow. Time in hell moves really fast. Time on Earth moves at Earth speed. And the reason I say it's slow or fast, it's relative to our time on Earth. And I'll go into more detail about that in another video should God, decide for that. But for now, we're talking about relationships. A relationship is always going to take effort. And it doesn't work if one person is putting effort and the other one isn't. I mean, they're always going to take effort. At least the ones that matter. Now, walking with God, that takes a lot of effort because walking the path where you're walking with God, it's not a popular path. So naturally, you're going to have people talking bad about you behind your back. You're going to have demons that want to kill you every 5 minutes, every 5 seconds. Depending on how much of a threat you are. For me, it's like, come on, I just got that fixed. Why are you trying to blow it up? Just for example. I've taken to not saying my plans out loud. Because if I do, then they do their best to try to delay me and stop me from doing this. Glory be to God that he helped me put 2 and 2 together. I'm not the smartest guy. But I do have a lot of understanding, which doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't. Like I said, I'm kind of like a walking contradiction at times. But yeah, I mean, when you get into a relationship with God, at first it's like, whoa. I mean, even now I'm like, whoa, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. Oh wait, yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, but then there's a lot of moments where, like, you as a human being, you're going to kind of disagree with the calls that God makes because it's just how it is. I mean, you saw me disagree with God, but ultimately I'm like, yeah, you're right, because God is God and God knows what he's doing. I don't. Are you kidding me? I started the Bible series off with, hey, this is a silver Watchman. I don't remember where I was, what I'm doing, or basically how this is gonna really get done. But let's continue anyway. That was my opening line for the Bible. I'm not quoting that, but that's basically what I said. So yeah. Like I said, trust me. You just gotta talk to God. The alternative is going to hell. And that's not a nice place to be in at all. Trust me. Now I know that sometimes yeah, things won't go your way. Things don't always go my way either. And you can either sit there and gripe about it and get upset and get sad and get depressed, or you can just get up, dust yourself off, and say, glory be to God that I still have another shot. Which is what I've taken doing. Even though, yes, even I get frustrated, trust me. I'm not a patient person, so God, naturally is going to temper my patience because I'm gonna need it. Are you kidding me? God's gonna have me lead thousands of people to him, so like Moses, I'm going to need a lot of patience because those people are going to complain a lot. Even Moses flipped out. Oh gosh. And at one point he even cried out to God, just like, why do you give me these people that complain so much? Do you want me to die? They're complaining to me all the time. Could there be other people to kind of like hear their complaints so I don't have to hear so many complaints alone? And God's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right on that. Yeah, I'm gonna have you put the heads of each tribe of people, or the families, just kind of they'll complain to them, the little stuff, and then they'll bring the really big stuff to you, because before that, my gosh, they went to Moses to complain for everything from hangnail to they accidentally murdered somebody, just you can kind of get like a broad range of like a variation of it, like, yeah. But yeah, I know I kind of make walking with God seem kind of scary and seem kind of bad. But like I said, it's like the most... It's like... It's something that's like so worth it. It's worth it. Because... if you don't do it, I mean, what does your life really amount to? Think about it. Do you really know what path you're supposed to take? You can guess, but you don't know. I mean, I know the path that God wants me to take. You're kidding me? It's awesome. I can't really tell you too much, but... yeah, it's awesome. I went from like, you know, loser who lives with his parents to basically being a guy that's replacing Billy Graham, Stephen Hawking, and the Last Prophet. My gosh, that is a broad range. Never in 1,000 years would I ever figure that God would pick me. Of all people, he could have picked anybody, but he picked me. I'm not even like the slightest bit worthy. But yeah, if God had a plan for me, then he's definitely got a plan for you. And he's got that perfect somebody waiting for you too. You just gotta, you know, make that call to God and ask him for some help. There's no shame in asking for help. You kidding me? It takes strength to ask for help. Because you have to sometimes swallow your pride when it comes to asking for help. Like when I first came to God, like I didn't want to ask help for anything. I always wanted to rely on my own power and, you know, try to do it on my own. You know? And I get it. It seems like I'm talking crazy. But sometimes it takes a little crazy to make the quote-unquote sane people see how the world really is. Because pretending like there's nothing wrong, pretending like you're not battling that loneliness, that depression, that sour feeling at the pit of your core. Yeah. Oh, getting a little tired. It's been a long day. Very long day. But yeah, just like walking with God is like the most like worth it thing in this world. More so than getting a wife, more so than getting kids, more so than, you know, getting your vengeance, more so than anything. Because Satan can only make you into what he wants you to be. But God will make you into what you were meant to be. Because he had a plan for you when he made you. Think about it. Every single human on the planet, no matter how insignificant, God's got a plan for them. I've been sniffling for a while. I'm a little bit emotional right now. Plus, I got the sniffles. God has so much to teach you. And the fact that he's using me to help teach you is like awesome. It's an honor. And I'm so sorry for all the sniffles. I'm kind of getting over a cold because like I was in such like a weakened state that I actually got sick. I mean, think about it. You have an injury, you could ask God to heal you. You want somebody to talk to? God is more than happy to just listen to you. Are you kidding me? He loves it. He loves it when, like, you know, we call on him to just to talk. Even if it's just like something as mundane as like talking about food. Or just like awkward weirdness. You know? I mean, he loves you. He wants to talk to you. You just, you know, you don't answer the phone. You don't pick up the phone, and you don't call, and yet you wonder why you don't have any connection with God. You wonder why you feel so alone, and you're not even reaching out to the person that's been has been sitting there. Now I'm starting to run out of time. But please consider all that I've said, and thank you for sitting through the whole video. And thanks for sitting through this whole series. So as a kind of like a reward, you get to see my dog. Now, my dog's got a goofy name. It is Brooklyn Candy. We also call her Boogie. Look at that. Look at that sassy dog. It's a dog. But seriously though, thank you for sitting through the whole series. Glory be to God. Just glory be to God that he helped me out through this and through all of that awkwardness that I was going through earlier. And blessings be upon you for sitting through this whole series. You know? I understand that I may have hit some very touchy subjects, but thanks for bearing with me. This is a Silver Watchman, signing out.